Hello everybody and welcome to episode 15 of Scapa 2020 the series and the final dive of the series. Yes, I know. Oh, sad times. It is Friday. It's Friday morning and we are out for two dives, and I do two dives. But the last dive I do, because this one was so epic, this kind of rounded off my wreck diving for the week. And the last dive that I did, I just went and collected some scallops. So unless you want a load of video of just scallops trying to pathetically escape, this is it for the week, I'm afraid. But what a dive this is. So this is the Coln, as is probably pretty obvious. And I did say when we did the bow section of the Coln, we'd be coming back and doing the stern. And that is what we're doing today. So, on with the dive plan. So, as you know from the last video, if you've not seen it, I will leave a link up here. The shot line comes down and attaches to one of these boat davits here. So that's where we come down as we did in the last dive. But rather than coming towards the bow this time, we head off towards the stern. And there is lots to see, and it comes thick and fast, guys. So let me show you what we did. So I come across here. Neil and Nat were a little bit lower, but I come across here, and then you come across this rectangular structure here again, which is the storage tube for the 8-meter long torpedoes that the Coln used to hurtle at her enemies. If you want to have a good look at that, check out the last video. But what we do is we come along, and then we're heading down, and we're heading for this sort of upright structure there that you can see. You see it? And what that is that's the torpedo tube that used to launch this 8-meter long torpedo. So it's, it's at least 8 meters long, isn't it? It's standing upright, and the base of it is unfortunately in the seabed. But what you can see is the back door and sort of some of the gubbins going down the side. And it's just really surprising to see this here, guys, because this is made of 100% phosphor bronze. So it's an incredibly valuable thing in and of itself, even if it's just for scrap value. And the salvors missed it. So I probably wouldn't pay him with toffee, to be honest with you, because there was only 2. So how do you miscount that? Have you got them both? 1, yeah. So and it's not small, so I don't know how they missed it, but I'm glad they did, because it means we could see it. So anyway, that's the torpedo tube, and very interesting. And you'll hear my buddy. I'll let you hear him. He's a dickhead. So, but we had so much fun on this dive; it was unbelievable. But anyway, I'll get to that in the video. Next thing up is this gun here, and I'll just draw it again because, again, it's difficult to see. And it's just a little midship gun. I think it's an 88 gun. Now, a word of warning on this one, guys, if you're going to use this to orient yourself. This scan data, again, is quite old. Now, I'm just going to draw this in again, because what it looks like, and it is how it used to be, it looks like it's sort of stood up in mid-water. It's off the seabed, and clearly it's missing its shield. Now, that is exactly how it used to be, because if I move back here, we switch the photos on and we have a look, there it is. So this is the bit that obviously the shaft that goes down into the deck of the ship and onwards, your barrel, and then your sort of back end and your breech. But as you can quite clearly see, it's nowhere near the seabed. Well, it's not like that anymore, unfortunately. It has gone south. So if we just switch that off again, so it has it seems to have slipped out a bit more. There is a lot more of this shaft visible, and it sort of sits, well, maybe pointing up a little bit. Well, that's rubbish drawing, but anyway, you'll see it in the video. Don't get me wrong; it's still nice and clear. You struggle to miss it. If you're heading this way, you do have to swim over it, but it's not midships anymore like it is there. So once we've done that, we carry on over the scrapyard like all the other ships. This was the turbine room that they've blown up to get at the turbines. So there's the scrapyard. You do see quite clearly this sort of rear mast. We do have to come up and over that, and then we head on towards the stern. So moving around, hopefully you can see quite clearly there are 2 very nice sort of stern guns, the big boys. I still think the Dresdens are slightly nicer, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with the Colns here, and we'll have a good look at them. You can see the breech, the barrels are clear, there's no crap all over them. they're still very, very nice. From where you position yourself to see this gun, you can also see the rear anchor capstan, and we get a nice look at that as well. So moving on around to the actual stern itself, just here you've got the stern anchor, again in position like all the boats are, and then around here there was some quite interesting things that I'll talk to you about in the video, but I'm not sure if they were part of the wreck or wreck site or whatever, so we'll have a look at them anyway. Moving on around, so here you've got the ship's rudder, okay, and quite a big structure. Now when Emily was discussing the dive plan and making sure that we knew where we were going to see everything that we needed to see, she was very, very clear that you were to swim under this rudder here. And you'll see in the video that when the rest of the group turns off, they're completely oblivious. You could write it in the instructions on bits of paper and put it, super glue it to the mask, and they still wouldn't follow it. So they come over it. So as it turns out, we're still here. So we kind of spend a little bit of time flashing torches and make sure they're seeing what they need to see and what they should be seeing. But anyway, if you swim under here, what you're looking for is sort of this, a cone shaped thing like that, and what that is it's the propeller cone. There would have been a blade here, a blade there, and a blade there, and that's the propeller cone. And there's one right under the rudder, and then there's one, I don't know if you see that there, it's either that or blob or that blob, but anyway, there's a couple of blobs, it's one of them. So there's two of them there, and again, really surprised to see these things because they are, again, that phosphor bronze material that is really quite expensive. So like I say, I don't know what the salvors were having a bad day when they did this one, because they missed loads. But anyway, there we are. So once we've done that, guys, the last thing to see, and it led to quite a bit of amusement and merriment on the boat afterwards, and I'll explain that when we're there, but I'll just tell you what you're looking for. Once you've done this rudder here, you want to head up, and there's probably a hole. I mean, there's lots of little holes in the hull of the Coln at the minute, but you'll see just maybe 45 degrees from there, and it's a hole, and you go in, and then you have to look left, sort of into the bowels of the ship here. And what you can see there is some auxiliary steering mechanisms. And I'll show you both my footage and Neil's footage of this, because Neil's footage is a bit better because he's got a brighter torch. And I swore you could only see one. There was only one wheel in there and a load of cogs, but when you see Neil's, it's like a double wheel. It's really, really interesting. Even for me, he's not particularly wreck orientated. Yeah, so that's... You go and have a look at that, and that's pretty cool. Once she heads out of that, guys, we pretty much carry on hanging around with the rest of the group for a bit. But dive time's ticking on, so we head up towards the stern. We get to perhaps about here, something like that, and then Nat signals that she's got the required time to surface that we need before we bail out. So that's what we do. We head up onto the top of the hull, and then we bag off from there, up like that. Now, because this is the last video, guys, I've shown you lots and lots of clips of me jumping in. This one's going to be the one where you see us get out of the boat for a couple of reasons. Firstly, we have a fantastic spectacle put on by nature that I've never, in all my years of diving, especially in the UK, I've never seen before. And it was absolutely superb and sort of really rounded off this dive for me. So I'll show you that. But then the other thing I want to show is for my my viewers who live abroad in nice tropical waters, because I want to show you what a diver lift is. Because I come on holiday and I have to walk up ladders, which is an atrocity to a UK diver. A boat with a ladder on it, come on. It's time you got with a program, guys. So I'm going to show you what a diver lift has, and pretty much all UK dive boats have them. So it's time you caught up. So I'm going to show you how easy it is, and it's just a nice round off to the dive as well. Good end to the series. So I hope you enjoy it, guys. Let's get on with the video and sit back and enjoy.
You need a helmet. Look out of place.
can you see it, guys? On the way down onto the Coln, this one, the scuba fairy had left me a strobe. I was so excited. No, seriously, no, guys. No, I didn't steal it. Well, I did wonder, why the need for it, because the visibility was fantastic. And seriously, if you can't find your way back to this shot line, you really shouldn't be diving down here. But anyway, welcome to the Coln. So again, you can see the dark side, the fun side down on the deck is the dark side, and then you've got all this light on the top and these swarms of fish that someone told me might be herring, so I'm going to go with that. So I'm going to call them herring, even if that's wrong. They are now herring. So yeah, we're getting ready to do the dive. So just checking. You all right, Neil? Yeah, he's all right. Nah, good, superb. Right, well, let's get on with it then. So again, just swarms of these fish, and just over to my right now, I think we found the real owner of that strobe. So we've got two guys here that are definitely not part of our group, and I really didn't see another boat, but obviously there must have been one. So we've got Mr. Twinset here, and then followed by what I hope is his buddy, the rebreather guy just behind. So I'm assuming the strobe must have belonged to one of those. So here we are, guys. There's the opening of the torpedo storage box. So I'll leave a link above so you can go and check the previous Coln dive out where we have a look at that in a bit more detail. So here we are, you can just see the top of this torpedo tube now, and I think what I'm actually doing is sort of sinking straight on top of Neil. So what I'm going to do is just do a quick scooch across and come at it from a different angle, so I'm not sitting on top of me, buddy. But I just wanted to reach down and sort of, I just got an irresistible urge to touch it. I wanted to sort of feel it and get the tangible, feel for it. Anyway, as I'm sinking down, Neil obviously sees what I do. So I'll let you listen to what the pillock's up to here. He scared the absolute crap out of me. And from Neil's perspective. Hey, what a git scaring me like that, but anyway. Here's that torpedo tube, a sort of length shot. So you can see it's not a small bit of kit, okay? It's quite large. How they missed it, I've absolutely no idea. But there we are. So we're just having a scoot around here. Now Neil has spotted that this gun that I was talking about, this 88 gun, is straight underneath me. I'm just focused on this circular hole here, but never mind, I'd never found out what that was. But as you can see, there's quite a lot of shaft that's slid out now, and the gun is definitely resting on the plates now, and the barrel's touching the bottom. Yeah, it's definitely not how it was in the scan, and it's definitely not how it has been sort of within the last 5 years. But again, still quite easy to see, quite easy to find, and quite a nice thing to look at. So here's that stern mast that I said we go over, so that's that. So we are heading away to the stern now, and we're not too far away from the big guns. And yeah, so here's our first one. So I'm quite a distance away because the viz is nice, and I wanted to try and get, you know, the whole thing in, or as much as I could. So, you know, you can see the breech just at the back there, and then obviously the shield is pretty much intact, and then obviously, you know, the barrel, which again is definitely all there. So, you know, really nice. I think this one is resting on the seabed, and is, you know, you can see it's there. It's a little bit upside down. It's peeled. The deck's peeled away from the rest of the boat. So, needless to say, it's probably quite interesting if you go behind that sort of deck plate and have a bit of a scooch. But we didn't on this dive. We just carry on towards the stern. Now here we have one of these flux capacitors, as Emily calls them again. Now I did I showed one of these in one of the previous videos and said to you, if you know what it is, leave a comment down below, and nobody did. So I'm still not going to tell you what it is. You're still going to have to guess. If not, then I guess you're going to have to take a trip up there and get Emily or one of the other skippers to tell you why you're there. And again, almost instantly, you're on the very stern gun now. So again, nice shot of the breech there. Different angle on this one, obviously, but it's all there. The shield again is in really good nick for its age, and then we'll come over and check the barrel out. And here's that stern anchor capstan I told you in the intro. It's there, and yeah, quite nice, and pretty much where it should be on the boat as well. So I don't know if you can see, guys, but I'm not actually scalloping here. I mean, yes, I do see a scallop, and yes, obviously, as per, I've got to go and catch it. But there's like a scattering, almost like a field of brown bottles. Now, I don't know whether they're beer bottles or wine bottles, but it's odd because it's the first thing of the whole week, really, where I've seen anything sort of personable and human on these wrecks. You know what I mean? There's guns and mechanisms and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not sure whether they spilled off when the wreck went down, or whether they're just garbage, to be honest with you. But anyway, they're all there, and because Neil scared me earlier, I take the opportunity to shiv him with one of these broken bottles. So take some of that. Ha ha! So here we are, guys. You've just seen it coming into shot, and you can just see that we're heading underneath it now. So we're at the rudder, yeah, I'm just flicking the video lights on so we can see a bit better in here, and we'll see this propeller nose cone momentarily. And there it is. So again, I'm not sure if you can sort of get a sense of scale of it, but it's a pretty great, big, huge thing, you know, and difficult to miss. So again, you know, I don't know what day the salvos are having, but it wasn't the best one, because it, you know, if this is phosphor bronze, then yeah, there's a fair few quid's worth just in there. And then the second one, as I sort of said, is sort of laid nose in, but that's the second one. So again, you can see how thick and hefty these things were, you know, which I guess they had to be. So yeah, a bit of a miss there for the salvos, I think. So a bit of a time check with Nat here, just checking how her time is. If she gives us a thumbs down like that, yeah, so she's still got bottom time left on the computer. We were sort of saying, you know, if she gets a 7 or 8 minutes time to surface, it's time to go, but we've got plenty of time at the moment, so we're just looking for the correct hole for this steering mechanism. So this is the one, and like I say, you've got to stick your head in. Oh, just getting my buoyancy sorted there. So you've got to stick your head in and look left. So the first bit of footage is mine, then we'll switch to Neil's, and you can see a little bit more with Neil's. So this is Neil's footage with his mammoth torch, and so you can see the same as what I saw. Look, but there, look, you see in the background there's an additional wheel. So obviously, when if this mechanism was ever used, it wasn't just one guy, you know, turning these wheels to steer the ship. It obviously required a couple at least. And the interesting thing is, how the hell did they see where they were going? You know, because you're down in the bowels of the ship, so one would imagine that there must be some way to tell them which way to turn. But you know, an interesting thing to see, and certainly you know, quite impressive. So just fast forward this bit, guys. You know, obviously Neil and Nat need to go in and have a look at this mechanism. It's not just for me to see. So we're just hanging around, and hopefully you can see in the background there's some more torches. So this is the rest of our boat group coming along. There's Al. Hello, Al. Behind him with the sun torch, that's Vince. But you'll notice none of them are swimming under that rudder, so they're totally swimming over the stuff, the interesting bits. So we are going to wave torch and say, hey, go look at that. if I remember rightly, pulling up the rear. There we are. Here's Mr. Corky Corkster. And again, he's normally got his big camera, but today he's got one of the little Osmo DJI things. That's like a GoPro, but from DJI. And he was toting that around. So again, we're just pointing out these nose cones to him so he can get some footage of those. So, at this point we thought it's probably a good idea to show him the hole where the steering mechanism was in as well, because that was, you know, one of the big goals we were supposed to see. So, I've just gone back up to the hole here to show Corky, and this is where we had a little bit of drama and also light relief. So, if you can see Alan there, look, in the orange hood, he's there, and Corky's sort of gradually on his way up to me now. Alan's one of our club photographers. He's always got his camera in hand and he takes some really good photos. But he has been known to be a bit of a paparazzo, and you know, if there's a shot to be had, he's going to get there first. And this is what we have here. So look, you've got Corky going in, Alan coming in top, crunch. Now, Corky backs off, but Alan's like, no, screw you, I'm getting in, getting the thing. So we give him a bit of ribbon on that one. He swears, oh no, that never happened like that. They are Al. It's on foot. It's on video, mate. We've got here red-handed. It's Al the paparazzo. So if you're ever diving with Alan and there's a photo opportunity, remember, your life means nothing to him. He is going to get that photo. Yeah, we had a bit of fun with him after that. But don't worry about it. We do let Corky go in and have a look after Al's got his photo. Okay, so in that what seems like a short period of time, guys, Nat's Deco has racked up quite a lot. Again, it's the problem with these Sunto computers is they run their own fancy algorithm, and you can't really predict what they're going to do. So I think she was saying 7 or 8. So I was just saying, do you want to go up now? And you know, Nat's like, yeah, shrug, don't know. So I just said to Neil, so he says go up. I think we was going to, but then I said no, let's go up onto the hull, and we can go from there. And Neil just gives me the OK sign, so that's what we do. Now you're going to have to indulge me here, guys. What I'm trying to do here is just get some shots of cup coral, which is the UK's only native hard-bodied coral, and a particular favourite of mine. So whenever I can get a shot, I will do. I didn't realise I was quite making such a mess coming over the hull as you see me turn around in a moment, and there is quite a cloud behind me, so apologies for that. And honestly, guys, if there's one bit of kit I can recommend, I can definitely recommend the AP crack bottle DSMBs paired with a Kent tooling reel. Such a fantastic combo. You've got a real satisfying clunk, clunk, clunk of the reel when it's going round in your head up. But the DSMB is 100% full, 100% of the time, and it is an absolute. Well, you saw how easy it was to launch. You just go, and that was it. So yeah, if you're thinking about buying it, I can highly recommend it. So I guess this is the bit where I'd normally leave you, but I'm not gonna this time, because I don't know if you can see on the video, but these sardine fish, as I'm going to call them now, there were just millions of them, and there was just a wall all the way up from where we were on the boat right up to about 5 or 6 meters. There was just millions of them, just a massive shoal of them, and they were absolutely beautiful in the sunlight that was coming through. And what really sort of amazed me more than anything was how they move as one. Now, if you've ever seen a starling murmuration or something like that, you know, where these individuals all seem to move as one entity, this was exactly what these guys would do. And 1 minute they'd all be like, you know, swimming, all the same direction, swimming, and then they'd just stop and they'd kind of like, you know, do their own thing, you know, pick at a few bits floating in the water, and then in an instant, in the blink of an eye, they'd change direction and all be going. And it's like, how the hell do they know which way to go? But it was, I mean, you can see them there, look, they're going, and then they sort of stop, and they'll have a little bit of a, you know, bimble round, and then they go, and it was just, I could have literally sat there for hours watching them. It was totally mesmerising, and an absolutely magic way to end what was an absolutely magic dive. So that's it, guys. We're at 6 meters here. So I've done my Deco. I have to do that at sort of 7 meters. My computer gives me a ceiling at 6, whereas Nat Suntosh has to be above 6 for it to start counting down. So we do that to be at slightly different levels. But I'm at 6. You've just seen Nat there give the clear signal, so we are heading to the surface. And as any good diver knows, you know, you don't get bent going from, you know, 40 to 30, 30 to 20. It's this last little bit where you can cause yourself the damage. So you really do need to take your time doing these last 6 meters, and that's what we do. So I'm going to fast forward this bit a little bit, and I'll see you on the surface. So here we are, guys, on the surface, and Huskian is just picking up another couple of the groups. So unfortunately we've got a 2 or 3 minute wait while they get that sorted and then get over to us. One bit of advice I'll give you is, if you have come up the shot line, do let go of it when you get to the surface. You need to drift away from it because the boat cannot get in to get you, because, you know, it's worried about fouling the props. So you know, there's quite a few telling off, shall we say, of people and divers that used to hang on to the shot line like it was a comfort blanket. So do let go of the shot. Stay as a tight group. It's much easier for the boat to come and get you. So here we are, our lift has arrived. Now, as you can see, Emily is a top skipper. She knows exactly what to do with the boat. As you can see from the dive flag, the wind's blowing from right to left as we're looking at it, and what she's coming up is our right hand side as we're looking, so that we are shielded from the wind and that the wind blows the boat towards us rather than away from us. And it just means that right now, as the boat comes down the side, we've got a nice flat bit of water next to the boat, which makes it nice and easy to get in. So once we've grabbed this lifeline here, pass one over to Nat, make sure Nat and Neil are sorted before I head off to the ramp or the lift. So this is it, guys. If you've not tried one of these, I'm going to revolutionise your life right now. It's a full-on lift. You know, handrails, you look down, stand on the little foot plate that's at the bottom, nod to the skipper, and up you come. No climbing ladders or anything like that. Super, super easy. So if you're a boat operator and you haven't got one of these, I don't care where in the world you are, get one. I will like you more. So that's it, guys. That's where I'll leave you. This is the end of the final dive of the Scapa 2020 series. The next video will be the review video where I talk about costs. I talk about how I found the boat, the accommodation, and the trip in general, and whether I thought it was worth it. Hit that subscribe button, hit the little notification bell so you don't miss when that comes out. Wherever you are, I hope you're keeping safe in these stupidly crazy times, and if you're getting out diving, dive safe. Alright guys, I'll see you on the next one.